And backwards. Now I'm in trouble. That's gone. So I guess I thought a boost was gonna fit. It's not. Alright, so I guess I just stay there and die. Cool. That's fine. This is fine.
This seems good.
Spend 4 to focus.
Oh. Clears a stress, which goes over there. We'll take one back. Which is going to disappear. No, it's good. Done.
Perfect. That's right, the good thing for me here is Fenrir will now be tempted to shoot Suntir instead of the TIE Fighter. And then Suntir might live. And the TIE Fighter. If not, there's 5 more beers in the fridge.
Alright.
Suntir?
Beginning of engagement.
Yes, gets focused. Anything else?
No.
What else am I missing?
It was just that.
It's just that?
Ben gave you bullseye.
Yeah. I shoot range 3 at Ben. Because I mean, I'm kind of got like 12 hit points or something stupid.
5.
5.
What?
So I can't kill him. He's got no tokens. Maybe I can strip the focus off Ben. So I'm going to do that. So Suntir throws 3 reds at range 3 into Fenrir. And rolls 1 hit.
Predator?
Oh, Predator. Haha! Hit crit! So much better! So much better! No, not good enough. Doesn't even spend the token. Alright, here we go. Operation Suntir rolls well. Let's go. No shots from Vader.
Once you've finished your dinner.
TIE Fighter's annoying.
Oh, you've already done that.
I was finishing this.
Can you bring your bowl inside to the sink?
He's only on 1, right?
He's on 1.
Yeah, Fenrir range 3.
Fenrir range 3 into Suntir throw. Hit crit. So I get 4 green dice, and I have a focus 2. And can I have 1 point of auto thrusters as well? 2 squiggles. Yeah, I'm fine. This is fine. We're all fine here.
No shots over
Vader.
there. So Lanky Flat's gonna shoot range 1.
Into Suntir.
Into Cynthia.
No mods.
No mods.
Hit crit again. 3 greens. Suntir
Says
spends
no.
his focus and lives to fight another day. Haha. And I have no more shots. Alright. Next turn. I think it's turn 4. Maybe turn 5. Focuses go away. And on the floor.
Got it.
Thank you. I've done every turn, I've lost Cynthia's dial.
There it is.
Because Ben keeps stealing it.
Well, I mean, it is Ben's.
You'd probably be right. This is hard.
Okay. 35 minutes left in the round. Yes?
Yep.
5 straight.
Ooh.
Can I barrel roll there? I think I can. I don't think I can. I cannot by that much.
Ouch.
Okay, no barrel roll from the TIE fighter. This TIE fighter does a 4K, if you wouldn't mind, Ben, on your side of the table there.
Absolutely. Off the board?
No! So much room!
Look, look!
Oh man, get wrecked.
Okay, time.
All good. Alright.
It was
Forwards?
5 before
Hmm?
we
No problem.
That is true.
This where some weird stuff happens.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing.
Alright, cool.
Just clears that stress, right? Done.
Vader?
I think I can do anything else. Yep.
Brutality.
I was wondering when you were going to bust that out.
Right now. Special token. Cynthia?
Yep.
Okay. Mark him up, why not?
Done.
Two bank. 2 bank. Away, away.
Creates another stress. Alright.
Alright. Cynthia gets focused.
Yep.
Vader gets to shoot first, or Cynthia gets to shoot first.
One of those two options.
Let's go Cynthia. Range 2 is a sweet spot on Fen. So let's do that. 3 rags with focus. For 2 hits. Can't use Predator because no in bullseye. So 2 hits into Fen. One goes through. So they eat the crows.
Just one?
Just one.
One hit. And some damage cards, so you have a range.
Go.
One damage on Fenrir.
Vader into Dengar.
Yep.
Range 1.
Yep.
So I get.
Obstructed.
It's definitely obstructed. I get 4 reds.
Yep.
Can you modify it again?
No.
No,
Until
not this
one's
time.
off. Cool.
So if I control 1, and I spend all 3 force to make it 4.
Oof.
Maybe 2 hits, 2 crits. Yeah. 2 hits, 1 crit.
1 crit.
1 crit. Yeah. Seems legit. So it takes 2
Shield and 2 damage cards, one
Yeah.
of which is a crit.
hit and crit. There's a fuel leak.
Shield.
So there's a fuel leak.
He's got 4 left, doesn't he?
Fenrir has a range 2, not a range 1.
Beautiful.
Not really.
Range 2 into
I
the
mean, the tie's happy.
yellow TIE fighter. There's 2 hit points left.
Sure.
He's gonna
2
need
hits and a crit.
I just take the crit, which is disabled power regulator. Disabled power regulator on yellow. Dengar.
Yeah, Dengar's got a shot.
You can shoot at Fenrir if you
Suntia.
want,
Suntia is really
but you're shooting at Cynthia.
Range 3 obstructed. And that's my only shot, so that will be it. I've got range 3 obstructed. Oh, no, I don't even have range 3 ability because my cannon out front is only 2 dice. Hang on.
No, you can't even shoot.
Range 2. Is that right? Auto blast is only range 2?
Not a boss only range 1.
1 to 2.
The last edition was
Yep.
range 1. So you can't hurt me.
Okay. Not me.
Can Ankar shoot something? Vader perhaps?
Or no. So range 3 obstructed.
Yep.
Sure. Let's take that shot. 1 hit.
So I hit 4, 5.
Yep.
Dodge. So this TIE fighter has a lovely range 2 shot into
Does.
Fen. For 1 hit, which you dodge. And my other TIE fighter has nothing. Good turn for Brad. Game is not over yet. We did not get additional commentary for this game, just us at the table.
Sorry, guys.
Thought it'd be more fun because we're drinking beer and eating cupcakes. And we have different lists.
Still disappointed that Ankar hasn't dropped or anything yet.
I'm actually kind of okay with it. Apparently listening to us is better than the commentary from the last game.
Ouch!
Rough.
That's... Sorry, Casey. Sorry, Grant. Be better.
Can the diverse style get better in this edition?
Do the what?
The Tide Van style hit better in the 2.8.
Yes.
Yeah, cool. It just feels better.
I don't think they had the one straight last time. To be fair, I played Bugger All Beta in first edition, so I'm not entirely sure.
I played beta for like the first 6 months or whatever. Or not quite the first 6 months, because in the first month we didn't have beta. We had TIE Fighters and X-Wings.
Don't track to that TIE Fighter, I'm gonna be really mad.
Talking to me. I won't do it now. Have you seen that?
Now you've told him.
It's unfair. Now you've told me that.
I'm having another cupcake because I can.
I'm not, because I just ordered Indian for dinner.
Come on, Ben.
Oh, sorry. It's a competition, alright?
It's a fun game, Ben.
No,
Why
it's
are
not
you
fun.
overthinking this?
Cause is the answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Done.
worried about.
You've seen what happens when I overthink things.
I've had 2 cupcakes in the whole day.
That's not bad.
Okay.
Probably have like 7
Oh,
more.
hang on.
You got this guy?
Oh wait, the TIE Fighter moves first. Never mind.
Sorry, I'd already written him off as dead. Okay. TIE Fighter's done. Yeah, no additional commentary from this game, just the table. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. And we're being entertaining.
Sorry.
Or at least semi-entertaining.
I will check that though. But Vader.
Ooh, can you?
It's range 1 in his arc, isn't it?
Is that range 1?
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
What game are you looking at?
So
Okay, that's way better. I like
barrel
it.
roll you onto
I don't have another stress token.
a stress. Yeah, I got more. Gotcha.
And I also have socks.
And you need to roll for that,
Yes,
sucker.
I know.
Alright. Red dice for the... Yeah, no damage.
Nice.
Then who now? Your sixes.
My
You're no longer disqualified, Ben.
Zarkar's
Uncard
done
done,
something.
has
Alright.
done something. And that was actually meaningful.
Has a 2 bank dial. Which obviously is not going to be a thing that he does. The question is going to be, does he hit Unkar or does he end up in front of
Sorry,
Unkar?
he's also attracted with his reduced agility
Yes.
thing, isn't he? What kind of legs? Does that look like that? Put that there. So, fly back over debris and get another stress.
Well, I mean, he ran over it anyway. So,
Yeah, my template was definitely touching it.
so
I
he
do get
lost it, gets it back.
Gets back. And you tracked it?
Yep.
Is that right?
And I got to roll a red die again.
Yep.
And I don't roll a crit, I just roll a blank. So I've got a billion stress, but
Mhm.
otherwise I'm not hurt.
And use a ability points next to
70 too hard.
Just let him engagement phase, but it doesn't matter because he's already tracked it.
No, but it starts the next turn. Is what
No, so
That's what I
the
mean.
next engagement.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, but the engagement phase is shooting.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's still good.
Evade. Alright. That's my 6's done. What do your 6's got?
3 bank.
3 bank?
Should I have somewhere?
I'm sure you still do.
Is it though?
Not really. Funny. Oh, you can't rotate with.
No, I think I'm liking the barrel roll, to be honest with you.
30 shots.
What's that?
Do you get a shot so you can barrel roll?
I
Oh, you've got auto
shoot
blaster out the front.
potentially shoot outside.
Oh, we're barreling that
Barrel
way.
rolling.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Keep hitting the auto blaster part. He's absolutely the right call then.
Yeah. So
Oh, and it does line up on Sunty that side.
So you've got options. Options. Stressed. Yeah.
Seems good.
yep. Then round
Too hard.
right into the back of that TIE fighter. No, not right into the back of that TIE fighter.
Maybe.
Not right into the back of that TIE fighter.
Oh. Do it. And then you want to roll 5 dice at Sunty.
Yeah, I do.
Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to cut out of that match a little bit early so that we can get over to our Perth side of things and back to their event. But first, need to do winners. So the winners of the last contest. So for the first 2 coins, we have Kirsty Hutchinson and Sean Hammond. For the Plo Koon this hour was Jonathan Hall, and the Naboo Royal N1 is Joshua Keffer. Congratulations, everybody. So our next drawings, our next session starts now. So the next prize bundle will be a Star Wars bundle, including a 40th anniversary Yoda's Hut, an Artifacts IG-88 statue, a 40th anniversary Death Star Commander figure, a 10-inch Funko Kylo Ren, and an Art of Star Wars Rebels limited edition book. All of which is about a $240 value, so good luck to the winner. So again, to be in the drawing to win that, you need to donate at least $10 from this point now until the end of the next match. Speaking of the next match, we are headed back to Perth and to Andrew and his team. Andrew, are you there?
I am, Chad. How you going? How's your
Doing
summer
all right.
happening, mate?
I'm keeping going. How are you guys down there?
Yeah, we're going well. We're into our final round, so which is great. And the internet seems to hold up this time. So
Awesome.
Cool.
So who do you got for us in this match?
we've got Dan Smith. He's got probably one of the jankiest lists we've seen around. So down here we like to try the whole Jawa thing. So we like to cobble stuff together. There's a bit of jank going on. Oh, I'm about to get shot. We've got the 501st in house, which is great. So he's got a bunch of TIE aggressors and a couple of academy pilots, and he's versing Mike in Mike's first tournament running double decimators. So this should be a lot of
Sounds like
fun. And I've got Actor on the line again to do some commentary for us. So should be
Awesome,
great.
very cool. Well, we look forward to seeing it. Let's go ahead and see what you got for us.
Thanks a lot, mate. Let's go. Hey, Actor, when we're ready, let's do this. This will be great fun. How you going over there, mate? How's
4 ions. Or 5 ions in this case.
All right, and everyone just missed exactly what we said because I had the wrong channel audio open.
Okay.
So hopefully
Is
people
it-
have audio now. That was my mistake. That wasn't internet. Sorry,
It's
everybody.
all good. It's all good. So I was just saying this is a crazy 7. You've got a relatively, based on what you're seeing in the scene, got all the upgrades in the world, and as I suspected, Mike's coming out and he's going to do the bumper car setup, where he's going to run Oiken in the front, almost certainly with, with Sheeran at the back, or he might be crazy to do the other way around. Who knows? But the reality here is which one's the one? Can you see which one's in the front? I can't actually see from here.
I can't, but I can go find out. They're not too far away.
Okay. Wow. Brutal. It's going to be red dice everywhere. It's going to be brutal.
Oiken's the one in the front. I might even give him some colours.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, that's what I suspected. I mean, logically, Oiken's going to bump. Rat will try not to, but even if he does, he doesn't care. He's behind, and that means he's still firing. There's 5 iron cannon specialists, so it's interesting. Not one of those decimators can dare point to the wrong side of the table when there's enough ships to potentially iron them into a bad position. But I think it's going to be interesting to see how Dan tries to approach this. It's a crazy janky list. How's Dan gone with this list, by the way?
I think he is 2-1.
2-1, okay.
I'm pretty sure I can
just
check.
not prepared for 5 sets of ions.
No, not at all. He did the same thing with the same list you took to the Space Jam tournament.
Space Jam.
So he took that to our hyperspace trial over here and came second, only to be beaten by Vlad the Impaler.
Vlad the Impaler, what was Vlad flying?
Boba, Fen, Sunny.
Okay. Yeah, that's a terrible list against that scum swarm. The swarm does not like
Yeah,
Boba
it really didn't. But it was close. He ioned... he got the tractor on Boba fairly close to a board edge.
Oh.
And got it very, very close. They made me come and make the maneuver as judge.
Oh.
And I bumped Boba as I was putting the template down.
Oh no!
And as judge, it's the worst thing you ever want to do, right?
No, it's not. I mean, the good thing is people know that you're not stacking one side, but it's a horrible thing, especially when it's like on the final table. It's like an important maneuver. I've been there where you look at it and you, as a player, you sit there and you go, right, this is so critical, it will determine the game. Let's get a judge to do it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
It was always gonna fit, which makes me feel a little bit better about it, but still not ideal, right?
It's not ideal, but the good thing is, generally when a third party comes in, they're not vested in the game and they can have a look. And if you play enough X-Wing on the table, you kind of look at it and go, that's probably safe.
Yep.
So here we go. Oiken's not hanging around. Mike doesn't want to mess it. He wants shots. He's going to get some.
He's there to bump things and get shots.
He's in a good place right in the middle there because he can turn in. If he gets ion, he's not in a bad place. He's going to almost certainly reinforce, probably, or does he just go for it? He doesn't care. What's he got on here? It's got Vader. Okay. So Rax Vader is not really going to do too much at this particular stage of the game, but it will come into handy. Yeah, it'll come in handy later.
Yeah.
So this will be interesting. I just don't know. I don't know how much firepower is in those specialists to worry this list.
I,
Well, that's what
but
that's what
with
Mike's
the
going to be
reinforced
decimator.
decimator,
That shit dies like that.
yeah, absolutely. A reinforced decimator is really only taking 1 or 2 a turn anyway. So with the ions, just means he can get into position and do what he needs to do, right? So
Yeah, yeah, and I think
it's a
it's
reinforced
like
from wreck.
I think he needs to try and flank us what he's trying to do with a couple of those ships. I would have probably put all 3 coming around the rock and just try and face it, but I guess he just wants to hit him in multiple angles. Rat's just out, I think.
Yeah, just
Which
must
will
have been
obviously mean that, as we knew, that Oiken's going to get a shot. Oh, we got a dice box. Good.
kind of. I've had a few issues with my dice cam today. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So I missed what happened there.
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I don't think.
Cool.
I think he lost a shield on one of them, which was whatever that one is. He got 3 hits and he had to spend his token to take 2.
Yep. Oh, Netty from Decimator, you like that at range 3?
Yeah, range 3. Here we go. 2 dice. See, I don't think he's. Yeah, this is where he's just going to try and put damage in now.
Yeah. Uses force to evade.
Yeah. So, Decimator is doing okay at the moment. Hasn't taken anything. I think he gets 1 more shot, maybe. I don't know how many. 1 shield. Shield for a shield.
Oh, love that. Netty crits. Takes them both. It's on to Oiken, so Oiken's down 3 shields.
Yeah.
And
but Oiken wants to just ram something now.
Sonar 4 lost a shield too, didn't it?
Yeah, the one of the silencers. One of the guys took a hit.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to put a swarm on stream, to be honest, so I haven't got colours set up.
Yeah. I think
Dion's watching, cringing, going, "Come on, get it right."
Dion's the gold standard in streaming, so he's always going to be. He's always going to have great colour schemes on his.
I'm used to much bigger setups with half a dozen cameras and show calling rather than a single camera on a screen. Yeah. I forget little things.
So here, I think if he starts turning those guys away and just continually to bombard Oiken, that's the way to go rather than bumping him. You turn all the aggressors away and just keep using that turret.
Yep.
And you just make the decimator. So I would, for example, the ship on the bottom right, I'd be turning that away and turning that around behind the rock over time. And I would turn everything away and just, the ties, you don't really need them. The only reason you need the ties is for a bump into rack, because a bump into Oiken is a complete waste. So I wouldn't engage anything here. I'd be just faking back, getting out and just going bam, 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 and just trying to hit that Oiken as much as you can and just put that damage in. I mean, he's already lost 3 shields, and he's going to really ramp in. He's coming in hot, and he wants to hit something hard. Be interesting. But this round, Rack will get some shots as well. So
you would think so.
Those aggressors need to start running some hot rings. The problem is they don't have enough green dice.
Best way to not roll blanks on green dice is to not roll any.
Yeah. I would just be interested to see how Dan's going to play this.
He's a fairly aggressive guy. Not an aggressive guy, an aggressive player.
Yeah,
He's a nice guy. So when he ran that six swarm, the one that you had almost success with so many times, he had them in the two banks of three, but got a little in a game he played against me. I was running silly 5x TOing a gig, so I thought, I'll just run 5x wings while I'm TOing.
Yeah.
He just got a little bit aggressive on the opening engagement, and I managed to tag a couple that I shouldn't have.
Oh, okay, yeah, that hurts.
It then all swung completely the next turn, and it didn't matter, and he ended up running away with it. But that's besides the point.
That list is very, very good. It's nice and strong. But if it loses the early engagement, it loses the strength of the swarm really early, and then it's in serious trouble.
Yeah. So, mind you, with this setup he's got here, he can still just go in and he could have all guns on Oiken this turn, right?
He could do. I think he's got three aggressors, potentially four aggressors, that he can turn all of them away. Oiken doesn't have an ability to probably bump them if he sets it up in the right position. And then Oiken's taking another four. I mean, obviously there's going to be some shots. He possibly loses one of the specialists. But then there's three turrets hitting Oiken. Oiken doesn't want this if that keeps happening.
Yep.
Yeah, the ties are coming in. Let's see what he's doing here. So he's throwing that into the rack. Yep, this is what I would think. I would be trying to push that for rack. I'll just be interested to see how the specialists are going to be lined up. Is he going in or is he pulling out? Well, there's a bump. Right, let's see what happens here. This will determine, I think. Yeah, relatively safe there, that one, because the X-Wing is doing the block. These are the ones I'm interested in. What are these guys doing? No, he's pushing them all in.
Yeah, he's going fast. Why not? Let's go.
There's a good move guarding those guys behind the X-Wing.
TIE fighter even?
Yeah, and there you go. Turning away. Oh, there's a one straight. Still okay. Doesn't give you a good position for next turn, in my opinion, because I think Oiken's either turning in to the swarm that's in front of him, which could be terrible if he does a 3 hard for that aggressor that's over there, or he's doing a 3 soft, but he's probably turning in.
There's the big bank.
There he is, yeah, as we suspected. That's where I thought that aggressor was going to do a 2 turn or 1 turn. I can't remember his style, but I thought it would turn away. Because then he could force the decimated to either rotate, thinking about next turn. But where he is, he's in a decent place, and rack. Or actually either going straight or he's going straight into just. Okay. Interesting.
Ooh, not much reds.
Oh, only one. Good bump. Good bump by Dan. Probably takes the damage.
Oh, that's a better roll. And Natty's out.
Yeah. Oof. This is not what Mike.
Not at all.
Those greens are. So, do we see any ion control at this stage?
Does he need to, though? He just needs to push that damage, right?
I don't think he
Oh,
does.
there we go.
I think he just
There's
pushes damage in.
There's one, but he just wants to push. Yeah, as you say, he's got to get that damage happening, right?
Yeah. So I think the good thing about big base ships is if you iron them twice and leave them on 2 ions, they literally cannot make any moves that will point them in towards the board edge. So I can see that, but to do that, he's foregoing damage. But I guess where that guy was, he was a long range shot. The best choice was do ion hit. I get that, but if you can pump through, so there's another double ion there. So that's an interesting situation for that ship now, because I think he's never going to, the way he's going to fly those ships, he's never going to be in a position to worry about the ion cannon. I think you are right. I think you just want to just keep pumping damage.
Don't forget, here we are all here to raise money for St. Jude's and for Telethon Institute. So don't forget, !donate in the chat. You'll get to a link. Chad's going to give us a cool donation update at some point, but we have raised a good amount so far. We're short of our total, but keep it coming. We had Katie from the Telethon Institute on site down here earlier. She was so excited by what we were doing. It was great.
Oh, awesome. Here we go. Damage is coming. Rack's going to take some shields. Okay, what's going on here? Let's have a look. Interesting. I think he's just got to pile it in. He's just got to pile it in. I mean, the one thing about ion control here is if he does get an ion on that ship, it's going straight and it cannot rotate. So that's the big thing if you can get that to happen.
Oh, direct. Who was that onto? That must have been onto Oiken.
Yeah. So that's his shield. Oh, direct hit.
Sorry, I keep forgetting that you're slightly delayed on the.
Like, just a slight delay.
It's about 10 seconds.
But that's pretty big. That's pretty big because he's got a problem now. I mean, I'd be tempted with Oiken to put, if he could, to put another ion on him so that he can only go one straight, and then you basically move in a position where he cannot turn his arc. And therefore, there's no shots for Oiken for a next turn. But this 5 specialist, this is so unique. You know, poor Mike is sitting there thinking, what am I playing this?
Done? We were talking, he was going to bring Vader and Ved and something else with some X1s. And he decided last minute, no, I'll stick with my double decimators. I've been practicing them. And he didn't expect to come up against this, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did. Because he's in a situation where I think Rack lost a few shields there. I don't know how many are left on Rack.
From what I can gather, he lost a shield, and Oiken took the direct hit.
Okay.
I do have a runner checking damage for me, but I'll check again in a sec.
Yeah, and he's in a situation now where Yeah, I think the good thing is, uh, if he'd have got an extra iron on Oiken, Oiken's going one straight, he could potentially move and barrel roll that guy and not take any shots from Oiken next turn. But now Oiken has an opportunity to turn, rotate, and keep spinning and like circling the table. But Oiken's already, he's got what 10 to go. It's not, there's a proton bomb sitting there, but that proton bomb's probably no good this turn.
Probably not. I can't see Dan turning down towards the bottom of the board. But
I think
it's a good way to
he's
close off
turning.
that lane, though, right? Make sure he can't get behind.
I think he's K turning with that X-wing. That TIE fighter, or he even just sits there and tries to bump it and continue to bump it. But because potentially what he could do is depending on how fast Rack wants to go, he could turn that aggressor that's behind the TIE into that space in front of Rack and really just lock him there for another turn. He's got two ships on the other side coming in, but the focus fire really is they want to get that all into Oiken, but it's difficult because Oiken is looking for bumps.
Yeah, we've been chatting with Mike a bit because he's a new player. This is only his first second edition tournament. Played a little bit in first edition.
Yeah.
We've been coaching him a little bit to get the whole two big ship, toilet bowl, one each way kind of thing happening.
Yeah.
So I'd almost expect Oiken to turn, Rack to turn left here. Like hard turn left, potentially.
A hard turn left here would actually not be a bad move. The only problem he's got is if he does a hard turn left and it gets ironed, he's okay.
He's okay this turn, but if it happens next turn, it could be, especially if he goes straight next turn, it could be an issue.
It could be an issue. But the good thing is if Oiken makes the turn, which I hope he does.
He absolutely needs to, right? If he goes straight and gets ironed, then...
Yeah, he just makes a turn here. He turns his arc, because he can darkness that anyway. And then he just tries to chow down on something. Now, I don't know if Mike remembered, and maybe he did, but he's got the Vader trigger on Rack that he needs to start thinking about putting onto something. But right now, everything looks pretty healthy on Dan's side. So there's the cave turn that potentially we were talking about. Yeah, there we go. Stress on that guy. Which means that I suspect he's going to sacrifice one of his guys for a bump. Or attempted bump. That's a good move there. That will potentially stop any turn. Yeah, this is not looking good for Rack.
Yeah, Dan's blocked that hard out for Rack, so yeah.
It depends because if he's pushed and bumped forward and boosted forward, then everybody's happy. Right. I'll be interested to see what happens with that last specialist.
1 forward from that guy.
Yeah. Because he doesn't want to get. I mean, getting bumped is getting bumped. It is what it is. And there. Yep, he just wants to put them all in. let's see what happens. I'll be very interested to see what happens here with Oiken. Right. Oh, they really needed to knock one of those ships out or put one into a hurt locker last turn.
Absolutely. Or so Oiken's kind of cleared out, but sold out rack in the process.
Yeah. So this is the turn that I expected him to do, the 3 turn. I did expect that. He's going to have some concerns about, because he's double ironed right now, right? So he probably needs to turn his arc, and he's got one more ion, puts him 1 straight. I can't tell from this angle, but 1 straight probably gets him another shot.
If you bought a mat today, make sure you go around and collect it.
Oh, there we go. Rat went for the sweep. He's pretty much going to just bump in that guy in the front, isn't he? Is he going to fit past the other guy? Don't think he is. Yeah, you need to run the train tracks behind it, I think. It's going to be almost straight.
I might just jump over and help him.
Yeah. Oh, poor Rack.
They got it. They didn't need me. Who needs a judge?
Who needs a judge? Yeah, this is a terrible matchup for Mike, I think.
Yeah, I didn't mean to throw him completely under the bus.
Well, look, I mean, decimators are amazing. If they double down and he gets like his red dice go hot, he starts popping ships. But they are 5, specialists. You do need to get 5 through on them, and the academy pilots are obviously 3, but they've got 3 greens. And do you really want to be wasting your time on them? The concern for him is the ion control, because the ion control in this list is actually quite devastating against the big decimator ship, because he's already done what I would aim to do on Oiken. He's put Oiken in the position that 1 decent iron shot now, because he's got 2 tokens on him, puts that ship somewhere where he wants to control it. And that's the concern for him. But he ideally wouldn't want him to have ironed him the turn before and just push him up towards the end of the table. But that'll be interesting. I mean, Rack's going to be taking some serious heat this turn.
I think Rack's in trouble. For those playing along at home, in the other game that we actually had to unfortunately cut short, the Scum player won.
Yeah, Ben was looking in control when I certainly saw him turning with Fen, and Fen was going to barrel roll into Vader or one of the other aces. It might be Suntir. I looked at that
there on number 5.
He was seriously in trouble at that point.
Yeah.
So Brad was definitely up against it.
Number 5 just took a beating, got a wounded pilot.
Oof. So this is what you've got to be careful about with those decimals. They just brutalise. But there's so much hull with this swarm, and there's just so much damage going to be coming through. Ooh. And he doesn't need to point. He doesn't need to point ships. He just needs to get arcs going. Oof.
Another hit, crit. Whoa.
Yeah.
Lots of face-up damage cards. That's number 5 gone. Boom.
Somebody is space dust. I don't know who it is, but they're gone skis.
It is absolutely dead.
Yeah.
DED.
There's nothing. Yeah, DED dead. That's fine. So he's knocked one out.
It's probably
he's
a
got
turn
one.
behind where we needed that to happen, but you know.
A fuel leak. Wow. There's every card under the sun coming out over there. He's milling his deck. Right. Unfortunately, here it comes back. So there's the ion that we suspected. So what that's going to be is it's going to be concern. Everything else is damaged, I think. I mean, it'd be interesting call here. Does he ion the rest of Rack? And Rack has to do a one straight.
Does he get much out of it though?
I think at this stage it doesn't matter because Rack's not in the greatest spot.
No. So if Rack goes fast this turn, next turn you ion him, right? So he's close to the board edge. Just put that pressure on.
Correct. And you don't want to risk putting damage into Rack right now because he's bumped. He doesn't have a reinforce. And you could just roll Amazing and iron him straight away. So you probably just put everything as damage right now. Yeah, I mean, now it's just... Oh, he's checking for a range 1. Range 2. I think he's marked his 2 fingers. There's 2. So Oiken goes down to 7, most likely. Nothing with the stress tie.
I'm actually just going to kill that dice box because I've run out of natural light in the room.
Okay.
So fine. We'll ask the players to roll on the table.
Yeah.
And everything gets easier to see all of a sudden. I've had nothing but issues with that silly dice box today, so I apologise, but you know, we're good to go. It's live events for you.
Yeah. So that's another. That's more. That's much clearer. That's much brighter. I mean, the problem that Dan has is he would love to focus fire on Oiken, but he hasn't got all the shots. But he's doing good. He's doing good.
It's soft though. It's out of focus.
Panic Pilot. That is horrendous for Rack. Horrendous. Because now, I mean, ideally he's getting bumped anyway, but now Rack's really struggling to do anything. Yeah, this is really not. I wouldn't be putting any of my stocks and shares on the decimators right now.
No, I'm just going to do a damage check and play with my camera a little bit.
Yeah. As I said, if this game lasts the full 74 minutes or 75 minutes, I will be shocked.
Other way.
Well, this is going to be interesting. It's got like still so many ships. You've got to be thinking Mike's in serious trouble here. Don't want to be seeing those. double stressed, crit tokens, iron tokens. Not a happy chappy.
All right. I wasn't even close to damage count in there, so Oiken's got 6 hull, Rax got 7 left.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be less, and it's like, wow. Yeah, these ships are in serious trouble. I mean, it's just like literally. You could see from the first couple of engagements, there's just too much hull there to get through with 2 ships that are only throwing potentially 8 dice max. Sure, you've got a Vader trigger, so that's fine. But then there's the green dice that comes with it, and there's just the 5 arm cannon ships are just super strong against this. It's quite interesting. Wonder how that would go. I mean, it's 2-1. I'm just trying to think how it would go in a real Aces game. I suspect it wouldn't do as well. But against big base ships, and there's only 2 of them, you've got to be saying
90%.
In a very strong position.
Yeah, 90% of the lists here are jank.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what Vlad bought earlier.
Yeah.
Liam bought a good list. Barry obviously bought a good list because it's Liam and Barry.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to play
What
casually.
did Barry bring?
Hang on, I'll go find out. All right. So Barry bought Vader with FCS burners, Fell with Predator shield upgrade and hull, and Fifth Brother with protons, prockets, and hate for 197.
Whoa.
And he's currently sitting 3-0 on the top table.
I would have loved to bought my Jack list. That you wouldn't have wanted to play that.
Eat it. Yeah.
My Jack list loves Aces. But this is a there's a very large hole that is being dug right now by Dan. He's building 2 6-foot pits to put those 2 decimators in. So ionized Oiken, who will just stop just short of the rock. I think he's okay. I think he just stands just in front of the rock. So I still think he'll get a shot. You've got to be thinking that Rack, who's already stressed, has to try and turn right so that he can shoot the group of ships behind, which would eventually be behind him, that are on his left. Probably that aggressor can turn, but who cares? Does the aggressor care? There's no need to bump Rack anymore. Is that double stress because the panic pilot?
I have all sorts of stuff for you guys too. Someone just called Judge in the room. Rob, go sort that. Sorry, mate, I missed all that. I was talking to the guys from the 501st.
That's fine. I'm just saying, I think that there's a situation now that you don't care about Rack's next move because he's double stressed. It doesn't matter where. It doesn't really matter where he goes. If he tries to do a 3 hard right, which gives him shots from behind, he's in a position where that's all good and well, but he could potentially be on. I mean, this is where you could potentially iron him next turn, depending on where he goes. But if I was Dan, I would probably just point every ship I've got at Oiken and take it off the table and then go after Rack. That's all he needs to do right now.
Yeah.
Just Oiken's got one straight. You literally turn everything into position, and because you've got those turrets, they don't need to have arc. They just need to have range, and all he has to do is just keep shooting them. He will need to move that last tie that's behind Oiken in a decent position because that bomb is coming out, I think.
You would hope so.
Yeah. Abstina donated $100, more than $100. That must be a conversion. So that would be a foreign currency, one would think. But that's a great thing. Okay. Wow, this turn took a while for Darts.
It's an important one.
Yeah, I think it's obviously Dan's position because Mike's got one move on Oiken, of course, and then
Mike's still got his dial in his hand. he's really. So what do I do with this? How do I not lose it? Husker plays in the chat. Just so you're aware, my name's Andrew. I'm from Perth. I'm the main TO over here, so I'm on comps. And then we've also got Actor Khan from New South Wales. So Actor's probably one of the best players we've got going around the country at the moment.
Oh, well, I'd like to think so. But
keeps getting beaten by Singaporeans. It's fine.
Yeah. If I play Sen Yong, I'll have a problem. But outside of that, it's fine. I mean, the great thing about X-Wing is you can play almost anybody, and if you got the right positioning, you can beat almost anybody. But
here he goes, all in on Oiken here.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, it's pretty much that's what you got to be thinking. That's what he's got to do. He's got to put as much as he can into Oiken. He's just going to want to just hit him with everything he's got, take him off the table, and just basically then he's got one ship. He's got that. These double decimators, I remember when they came out earlier on in 2.0, and they were so good, and they still are good. They don't tend to win events, but you come up against them if you don't have the right list. Oh my God, they can be absolutely devastating. Poor Oiken. So this is where Mike has forgotten about his proton bombs.
Yep. Which I will let him know more than once we finish.
Yeah. But I don't blame him.
Where's that guy going? So Dan's got not what we expected.
I mean, there is an argument to be said that he's worried about his proton bomb because he gets bumped and he gets protoned himself. There's enough ships there that potentially he gets in position, but I didn't think there was any ship in a decent enough position to block him. Yeah, he got his order wrong.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I mean, are you racked? Do you just do one straight here?
There's no reason to not, right?
I would have...
So roll for the
You
rock.
could.
Safe.
Oh, he did make the rock. Oh,
Yeah, he tagged it.
That is terrible.
Yeah.
That's
just adds insult to injury. But he didn't take the damage. So
yeah,
one forward from
that was unlucky because now now he's not even going to get a shot. So, did Rack do the turn or did he go one straight? He did go the one straight.
Yeah, one forward.
I think he's really just looking at those 2 pilots and thinking, well, I'm stuffed anyway, so I might as well start clearing some stress. And he can take one of those stresses off, I think. There he goes. Did he take 2? 1. Yeah. I'd like to think that he could take more than 1, but he can't.
That would be great.
You're not Dash, and you're not going through a gas cloud.
Or was it Holdo? She does that too, doesn't she?
Yeah, that takes 2 out. I played a Sloan list with my Dash Lando recently, and my opponent, even though I told them very clearly how it worked, was shocked to realise that I was able to get both stress every time I popped one of his tyres.
But you were responsible for ruining Dash for everybody.
Oh my God!
That was all your fault. Come on, those poor New Zealanders.
Look, hang on. Look, there's some explaining to do here. Like, so my son Adam has to be also responsible because he came up with the original prototype of the list, but it was with Bistan. And after speaking to I was speaking to Travis and Jaron Foss and Grant Dwyer, we made it worse. So it was a combination of people that created this list. But I won't lie. I bought it. I took it. I ran it. I put my hands up. It was brutal.
I played with it afterwards just to see, and it was just that whole double tap dash thing.
Double tap dash. It was PS7. It was insanity. I played one guy. In the Australian Nationals, I played 3 games of X-Wing in an hour. I played one guy and I beat him in 11 minutes. I mean, it was just insanity. So, but those days are over, and I must say I have to take full responsibility for that debacle. I will take it.
I was going to say, Nathan in the chat, Fuzzball in the chat, no worries, man. Would have been good to see you. Thank you for donating your painted Poe. One of our locals guys, Chet in the chat, did an awesome orange one. The new Poe. Looks great, mate. Well done.
Yeah, poor Mike here. Rack has been rolling. I mean, he has been unmodded, but he's not rolled well with Rack at all. And he's just rolled so many blanks. So that's not helping. It's not helping.
Lots of blanks everywhere. My stream dice were pretty hot for a while.
Yeah.
I think I'm cold now.
Yeah. Here we go. Unfortunately, poor Dan. Here we go. Just the damage. That must have been an ion. It's 4 dice. Right.
I played him in League this week because he's playing at our local digitally. Super cool guy.
Yeah, he's really nice. He gets more down on himself. He doesn't get mad at you.
There we go. Putting him in a position where Rack is ironed, or could be ironed.
And he won that game against us in the submission. That's what Isaac was upset about. He never actually made him cry.
Would you not just put everything into Weekend and just take him off the table?
He's trying to draw it out, so we finish the game in about 15 minutes from now, and everything gets back on schedule. Yeah. The boys are.
Be a good corporate citizen for the CAC Telethon.
And the boys in the US are like, no, just finish early. We got plenty of time to fill.
Yeah. Well, there's Rack. Rack is on now. Well, it'd be a shame not to iron one of these ships, both of these ships, with all those iron cannons lying around. Yeah. Stay on the leader. It's like crazy. There's 5 of them with ions, and two bumpers with the 2 ties. It's insane.
Two left on rack, 5 left on Orkin.
Just one. Oh.
So I think
9.
I've got those right. So 2 left on rack, 4 left
2
on
left.
Orkin.
Oh, he didn't kill him,
Didn't.
but he could kill himself over the rod before Oiken.
He could.
Oh no, Oiken's got 4. God, this is horrendous. I mean, I knew that Rack was going to get burned, but he got burned hard.
He got burnt real hard. 1 hole left on rack. And I'm just checking the signers.
Oh, is it 1 left? Yeah, okay. Ugh. Oh. Brutal.
Sorry, Mike. Both games I've thrown somebody under a bus on this stream today. It's been great.
You didn't throw him under the bus. You threw him under the bus, drove the bus over him, got in the bus, reversed over him, and then drove over him again.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, we'll blame the guys from TTT because that's what the rounds drew.
Poor Mike has got tire tracks all over his chest right now.
It's all right. I also feel a little sorry for Vlad. The round 1 today we auctioned off against Vlad for a donation.
And what did he get?
He got Aaron Walkham running his droid swarm.
Oh, against that, yeah, against his jank, the droid swarm. Oh.
Yep. And then he got Liam in round 2, and then he also lost round 3, and then he just beat young Isaac Walkham.
Wow.
So.
Oh, it's good that Isaac's. It's good to see Isaac. I mean, he was. I think I saw him at the teams event once. So
yeah, he was our best player at OTC last year.
Yeah.
Our 10-year-old best player.
Yeah, he's. It's good that he came. It's good that he played. It's interesting.
Yeah,
I do love teams events. I think
I was really looking forward to this year. I got the leave pass to probably do as badly at System Open as I was going to last year, and then stay on for teams. But we're all.
It wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. But I mean, the good thing is you saw how keen people were, and hopefully we'll be able to replicate that next year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Alex came over not knowing what he was going to get, and he got a 250-person tournament, and he loved it.
Yeah, look, I mean, I can tell you now, it's like the interest for System Open is huge. I mean, I was speaking to some of the Singaporean guys, and they were all set. Booking flights. People would, they got lots of people there are teachers, which is difficult for them to get time, but they were all committed to coming. So
yeah, I think this year was going to be bigger and better.
There'll be a lot of people that will come, and I can't wait for the next System Open. It'll be interesting. We got a points change obviously coming in soon. We're going to see a little bit of a shake-up. You'd expect some new wave ships. So next year it will be quite interesting because, you don't know what's going to be coming out.
We've also got, while I was in Sydney last year, I took the opportunity to get into Alex's ear and spruik the western half of the country. We get forgotten about over here a little bit occasionally. And so, although we don't get to do our Grand Championships this year, hopefully next year we'll have a Jawa Grand Championship here in WA. So save your pennies. We come to you guys a lot. You guys need to come back over to here.
You know what? That's a really good point to make, actually, because when we heard about your GT, right, the discussion across quite a few of the groups, like group chats that I'm in, and this was more localized to Australia, East Coast. A lot of us were using that same comment. It's like they always come over. They always come over when there's something big. they're running one now. It's time that we come over to them, right? So I definitely can tell you that there was a lot of interest for people to come. It's just, it is what it is with the circumstances that we're under.
Yeah, hey,
But
look, and next year,
I think if you can advertise it early enough and you can try and schedule it where there's nothing stupid clashing in the major states, you will find a lot of people will be very keen to come over and play.
yeah, we hope so. I mean, and I've made it as easy for the distributors as I can. I've already got a whole bunch of boards, so freight-wise is, all that sort of stuff. We're going to make it as easy as we can. So we see Dan did a 5K with his first tie. I think he wants to win it this turn.
Yeah, look, you got Rack with one. He's gonna probably go one. Rack's iron eye, so he's only going one straight. The tie, I'm surprised the tie just didn't go and bump into Rack and just have it guns on. But yeah, this is not likely to be another round.
So when we finish this game, I'll get Dan to come over and we'll have a quick chat with him, and because we'll have a bit of time to fill, which is good.
It's good it'll be good to talk to them and this and the other. And it's I hope you guys get that Grand Championship. Get a date. I mean, you will get the date. You will do it, and everybody will be really pleased. I think there'll be quite a few people that'll be interested to play, and I certainly know there was a lot of interest. I was looking at all of those. I was looking at that event. I was pretty committed to coming to it. Unfortunately, it just wasn't to be. But
we'll get there. Hopefully,
it'll be good because it's like it's great to play. I mean, I love playing X-Wing with the guys, and I love playing X-Wing against new players you haven't played before. And if you can go to another area, yeah, sure, you can just you get what you get because it's a draw, but. It's great. It's great to see if you can get new players or players that you haven't played before because it's great. I like that.
Oh, that was the best thing about going to Sydney last year. Was, we played. I got to play 9-10 players I hadn't played before, and then afterwards go for a couple of drinks afterwards, and it's the fellowship in and around the game. Everybody says it all the time. It's the X-Wing community and the Star Wars gaming community. I think is probably. The best one going around. I mean, these guys are great fun. As you can see, we've raised bucket loads of cash so far already for this awesome cause, and we're doing more.
It's great.
Does he hit the rock on the way around?
It's like something like this, certainly when you localize it. I'm very lucky, so I get to. My family live in Chicago, so I go there quite regularly, and I'll go to the Gold Squadron League nights, for example, because they live. It's very close to where my family lives and where I'm staying when I'm over there, and they're always welcoming you. It's fantastic. My wife's Irish, so I go to Ireland every so often, and if you play the Irish fellas there, they're a great bunch of guys as well. And then I never went to Worlds until last year, and that is an experience. And there are people there that you will meet. And there's people I've met and kept in contact with since. Fantastic group of guys. So yeah, it's a great community thing, and it's really good fun. Really, really good fun. But
all right, let's see what happens here. Poor Oiken, and I think Rack's done this turn. Obviously, he's got 3 arcs pointed at him with 1 hull. I think Oiken might live this round. We'll have to go to a last round.
Oiken might get away with it with his 4 hull. Poor Rack.
Rack's done.
I would be shocked if Rack survived this turn.
Mr. Gold Squadron Dion has just said he loves seeing you pop up randomly at his stores.
Yeah.
Hi Dion, by the way.
Dion and the boys are amazing. It's so cool when you go over there and you see all of them, and it's like they're all so cool about stuff, and like. You have a great night with them, and you just play some games, and it's just like it's super fun.
I've just been handed a blaster by a stormtrooper. I'm pretty sure if I fire it, it'll end up hitting somebody 5 blocks down the road. We've got the 501st in-house down here, which is super cool. Again, thanks to Jason, one of our local players, who's a local trooper. He's got us a bunch of squad guys.
I got my. I'm sitting in my room and I've got my new lightsaber mount, so I'll be mounting my lightsabers on my wall that I got from Galaxy's Edge.
Mike's dice again. Sorry, we're just looking at Mike's. He's just rolled nothing with Rack again.
Rack literally turned up and he brought a banana to a knife fight.
Turned up to explode. Oh, Mike. We have some work to do at League Night with Mike.
Yeah.
Mostly in the list. And Oiken's not done any better.
Mike's in trouble. Well, Mike was in serious trouble anyway. I mean, poor Dan. Dan showed no mercy. He showed no mercy here, but Dan. He's lost one specialist. That's it.
Oh, he's just taken one more damage on something else.
Has he even halved the other one? No, he hasn't.
No, but he just took a shield on something and he's run away from the table. Where's he going?
Oh, something's taken the damage.
He's taken one shield off one of the others.
Wow.
And that's about it.
Yeah. Poor Mike. Mike deserves a drink. You owe him a drink.
I'm going to make Dan buy him a pint.
Dan owes him a slab. That's what Dan owes him.
Yeah, he does. While we've got a sec, I just want to thank Chad and the rest of the Twin Sons team for putting this gig on as Oiken bites it. I've had a blast in the organisation, and I've had a blast today. So well done to Chad and his team, and the group of producers behind the scenes. We've all done amazing work. I've done less than the others. I just rocked up today and produced some content. There's been a whole lot of stuff going on, and they've done a great job.
It's an event that you always mark in your calendar. Like, ever since the CACs have come out, obviously we're virtualizing it this year, but every single year that is an event you just literally go, yeah, I'm going to go there. I'm going to donate some stuff. I'm going to go there. I'm going to, it's just great. It's just super great.
Yeah, we did our first one last year. So obviously the first year you guys went up to Campbelltown and then back to Canberra last year, and then you were supposed to go up to Campbelltown again this year. We did our first one last year, and it was a hoot. Running 6 rounds with the pod system.
The pod system was quite fun. Actually.
Pod system's awesome.
It was quite interesting.
We have good fun. We give everybody who rocked the winners of the pods get a prize, but we also had a whole bunch of stuff for the losers of each pod.
I felt sorry for my pod because I just had one of those games where in my first couple of games.
Oh, Natty's from a decimator. Sorry.
Oh, he's hanging in there.
Natty's in the chat.
He's hanging in there. Oh, that's not looking good though.
No, that one didn't.
Oh, I think he's only taken 1 damage.
I think one this turn. I'll double check. I think we're gonna get another turn. I've been chatting to the guys in the US after this game. This game ain't going to time. We're gonna have to fill time. Right? I think we're good. I think we're covered.
Yeah, fine. That's good. Wow, one more turn. Poor Mike's got 31 points. Dang. Dan, be merciful. And Dan sitting there going, no. It's a decimator.
Rob, can you do me a damage count? I think this will probably be the last turn, we'd imagine. I'm just getting a damage count on Oiken. I think he's got 3 left.
It's done. He's got the 2 ships at the back. The TIE is moving max speed forward. The other aggressor's moving forward. The other one just turns away and just uses his turret, and the other one's moving in. They're all moving in. Oiken is in a bad place.
So 2 hull left on Oiken. I've just been made aware.
Yeah. So I'm just working out is what could he kill? What could make him feel better? He'd have to go for one of the specialists that's only got 3 hull left, and he'd have to max out his attacks. Yeah, not likely.
Probably not.
Not likely.
I'd like to say good morning to all those waking up in the US.
It's quite interesting, actually. How good would this list go in a, I mean, obviously this is a janky type tournament. I mean, God, would you?
I don't know. You saw the list that Early's bought.
Certain archetypes would be awful to play against.
Oh yeah, like I don't even think. You put this up against. If you can catch a few aces, you're gonna tag an Ion occasionally, and you just delete it next turn, right?
Depends where it goes, but what does happen is it gets put into a bad place, and then it's hit. The problem with an ace is they usually don't have a lot of hull on them. So each ion hit, if you're getting ioned, there's at least 1 damage that's gone through there. And then how many of the other ions that didn't go through and hit you, but just did enough to do a damage?
Just did 1, yeah. Tink, tink, tink.
Yeah.
Oh, Sunti is dead.
Yeah, and it's just plinky, plinky, plink. I think it's like any swarm. This list will do really well until you start taking body and removing bodies. And then as soon as you start taking bodies down, it loses its efficiency. But the problem Mike had with this list is that there was just way too much hull with way too much capability. With the turrets especially, literally everything is continuously firing at Decimator. So the Decimator is getting ioned or getting damage from a primary, and there's just no way out.
Nah,
there's just no way out.
It's taken him longer than I thought it would. That's just, but it's unfortunate. But Michael learned from this. He's the sort of guy who will take this and go, right, what could I have done?
So I think if you were to analyse this again, I think his approach needed to be both decimators on each corner.
Yeah.
And literally bring them up along the table edge and bring them in. Because I think what then happened is, yes, you can get blocked. Yes, it can be a pain. But he got jammed. Both his ships got jammed up in the middle really badly. And that was just a real difficult position to be in. But any approach against this swarm is difficult because they can just keep shooting me, and that's the problem.
Yeah, we spoke about that. I played against him at League Night the other night. I had some crazy Death Ray ZZ build going on with Kova and all the horribleness. I bought a medalist to League Night, unfortunately, because I'm that kind of guy. And he did a similar sort of thing here where he just went, right, I'm going to go both the same direction with both of my decimators. And I had one of my other better players trying to coach him into the whole pincer thing. Let's go two decimators go from different directions. You swap them in and out, and you keep them both alive by moving them. But he obviously didn't quite get it. So we'll work on it again next week.
But it's good. I mean, it's good, especially when you're bringing on new players. It's good to sort of really just try and give them some advice. But the one thing that I've always said to new players is find something that you like to play and love to play. It doesn't have to be meta. It doesn't have to be good. Just enjoy playing it.
Absolutely.
And how it flies, and then the skill game will come from that. Just play what you like to play, and then work from there. Is always a good theory in my opinion.
Nano in the chat. Dan doesn't own 5 aggressors. 2 of those are mine, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one in their right mind owns 5 aggressors. Except maybe D-Yun, who owns 5 million of everything.
Although I put 4 jump masters on the table the other day, and
so did I. It's lots of fun.
I went into I went into my box and I had 5 of them in there.
Yeah, and Rob, my offsider, took 4 jump masters to our latest Digi League. Did quite well.
Nice.
Took the league with 4 jump masters.
Did he run the 4 basics with ions, or did he mix it up with long one?
I don't remember. Hey, I'll ask him. Robert, your 4 jump master list, what was it?
3 jump masters with nom lom. I forgot what I put on it, but it was terrible. It was just a chance to get big ships on the table. But nom's great.
But he won the league, so you know.
They just bump you everywhere. It's like big base ships and bumping. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. And nom lom's cool.
But PS1 as well. So his PS1. He's as cheap as chips. He's got an ability that doesn't trigger that often, but it can, and it's just like arms everywhere. You know what Dan's going to try and do here? He's going to try and iron off that ship off the table, but he won't matter. It won't matter because he's only got two hulls, so he can't actually get to do that.
Your competition.
They're not much competition.
ATP.
Oh, dude, I don't look at them like that. They do different stuff.
Was that it?
Is that it?
And they're too
Might be.
expensive.
I don't.
My prediction was incorrect. I thought they would finish much earlier.
So did I. Well, they've gone way longer than we needed them to. We were supposed to use this game to catch up some time. Sorry, Chad.
Iron token, but that must be dead, surely. Oh, is this checking? They're checking.
Oh, they're just having a look
Checking for that
at
corner.
stuff.
No, he's safe.
Yeah. So there we go. That'll be game. Well done to Dan. Took it out for us. Thanks for tuning in down here in Australia. We've had a blast putting on the CAC live stream. I'm super stoked to be part of it. And thank you, Actor, for doing some great commentary for me.
No, you're quite welcome. Good cause. Always happy to do it.
And then, and also huge thank you to Jaron Foss, who took our first game.
Welcome back to the studio. Thank you for coming in. We have prizes for this round. So we have the coins, which is James Kelly and Rob Neisler. The Plo Koon this round goes to Kirsty Hutchinson. And the bundle of Star Wars prizes, the IG-88, the Funko Pop Yoda and Kylo, and the Star Wars art book goes to Andrew Barrett. So I'm excited about that one because I don't have to ship that because I know who he is. So this coming up round, so we've got new prizes coming. So again with the coins and again with the Plo Koon, but now we also have an LED enhanced Slave 1 done by the MacArthur Art Shop. And Cameron and those guys are really, really good. We've got a few things to give away of theirs, but the fire spray is for now. Later you can see what else we have. So we're also coming up now to the first of Dion's ABCs of X-Wing. So Dion, are you there with us?
Absolutely.
Dion, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Fantastic. All right, so we have now the first of your X-Wing ABCs, and this one is Olsen versus Bart. Can you tell us about that, the original match first?
Absolutely. So, I'm going to chat. It sounds like I'm getting a little bit of an echo. But one of the things that happened in this game, this is the final of the Las Vegas Open. And this was put on by Fly Better in Las Vegas. It was an absolutely amazing event. But this final what we're going to do is we're going to go through the game. Now, the game was originally 2 hours. What we've done is we've actually cut out all the planning phases and actually sped up the game just a little bit. I was able to have a conversation with the players and just talk about what were their thoughts here. You know, the ABC series, the after battle commentary. By the way, Chad, thanks for the name. All on Chad. You know, the whole point is to get into the mind of the players. A lot of times you have players either who are newer or at that like middle competitive tier who want to know how do I get to that top tier? How can I start making cuts? How can I think like a championship player? This is that opportunity. Being able to take a step back and talk to players, and not just one of them, but both, get their sides and getting them to have a conversation. When we watch these ABCs, these next few games, you're going to hear me essentially take a bit of a step back and let the players just talk about it and get into their minds and facilitate a conversation between them about the game. It's really interesting, and I really hope that you guys enjoy it.
Oh, I have absolutely no doubt that this is going to be just fun to watch and also a learning experience. I know for myself, I'm an okay player, but you know, being able to listen to their thoughts, and I think a lot of us are really going to appreciate it. So thank you very much for doing it, and let's go ahead and watch this game.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to our match review. We have Zach Bart and Paul Olson on the line here. We're going to be reviewing their Las Vegas Open Finals match. Zach, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Dio?
I'm doing great. And how are you, Paul?
I'm doing awesome. I'm ready to relive my epic ending of this game.
It was definitely a good one, and we'll get there. And we're going to go ahead and start the video, and I want you guys to talk about your lists first. Zach, I'll have you go first.
Yeah, so I am the Empire player here. This is kind of a remake of the old Palp Aces list, where I just want to have people shooting my aces to them not take any damage, since they have a whole bunch of force and defensive mods, and then they just kind of plink away at things. Got 2 Inquisitors with concussion missiles to be able to just kind of light things up, Jendon to set up those concussion missiles early, and then Soontir to just be a huge pest and be initiative 6.
And Paul?
Yeah, so this is about as stripped down as you can be with a Seer Swarm. One thing that I really like about this list is that every single ship comes at an even number of points, so it's fairly easy to calculate MOV. Ironically, I did not see the 100 v 100 possibility before this started, but yeah, I mean, struts on 7 drones, and then Captain Seer with TA-175 and Solus 1. And man, that crack shot like ability with Captain Seer carried every single game that I was in, for sure. I mean, the struts are nice to have, but to be honest, I'm interested to see as points change here, as if I can strip off all the struts, I will. I think the list is still as strong even without those.
So
Yeah,
go ahead and talk about your guys' approaches here. Your opening, your setup. What were your thoughts?
I'll start because I had to set up first, dude. So we put all the gas clouds and rocks around, and I try to give myself an option to have this kind of 9 ship box. It's really 9-1 at the top, and it's a little different than you'll see a lot of swarms flying, because they'll keep kind of all 8 on one board edge so that they're further away to be able, so that what happens here doesn't happen, where a lock is grabbed and a shot's able to be taken early. However, with this kind of super box formation, as I'll call it, it allows flexibility to be able to turn very quickly and pin down aces with more area control. You're kind of more spread out, and that was kind of the thought process. As soon as Zach set up the shuttle in that corner, I figured, well, he's probably going to dip out as support and bringing him late, which is exactly what he did, so that I could focus on those aces that were coming in. But man, that shuttle's force came in clutch several turns in this game.
Oh yeah, for sure. He read that exactly right. I wanted him chasing the shuttle. So I just set it up in the corner, and it was just going to be running for the first 4 turns at least. Whenever I'm setting up kind of fields for lists like this, most of what I'm doing is I'm trying to set up a pathway for the shuttle to go the entire game. So I'm trying to think about, hey, where am I going to have this shuttle turn 5, turn 10? What do I want it doing? And
did it stick to that approach that you had?
Mid game, I had an option to turn it in. I think, if once I get there, I try to have that choice, and turning it in would have been a huge mistake because you would have lit it up in a turn and a half with the way things were. So I think I kind of followed mostly where I wanted it to go.
Sure.
Kind of snaking around.
And based on where you grabbed the locks here, so you grabbed 2 on the front drone and 1 was soon tier on the back drone, and I knew what you were trying to do, which was pump a damage through on green. That's the top or the bottom right-hand corner one. Was soon tier, so that when you fired the concussion, you'd expose the damage card. And so, which is brilliant. Like, that was great. And so this next turn, you'll see me try to keep blue, which is the one that has 2 locks on it, away from range 1 from green, so that didn't happen specifically. But man, you were so aggressive, more so than I thought you'd be, especially with that green Inquisitor coming in to be able to get a concussion missile off this round. I was not expecting that, and you got some damage early.
And something I want to throw in here, anybody who's watching, all of the annotations, the telestrations that's happening, that happened live. So just gives you an idea of what the commentators were talking about. None of the telestrations are for our purposes today.
Yeah, the commentators were shocked that we were shooting each other turn 2 in a 2-hour game.
That's right. Yeah, well, and I was shocked too, because I expected you to dance a little bit, specifically with that yellow Inquisitor, and go down around the gas cloud in the top left-hand corner to make me choose one of the 3 targets, green, soon tier, or yellow. And that's typically what I'd seen. But yeah, you definitely caught me off guard by doing that. And then this turn, when I'm turning, I'm like, okay, now I don't have to worry about the gas cloud being flanked from that end. So it was move the entire swarm over, keeping that gas cloud as almost like this little wall, if you will, and barrel rolling all of them over. And Travis talks about this in the commentary, that really what I'm doing is just like, all right, what target are you presenting me? I don't really have like a preferred target right here, because you can go anywhere with these 3 ships.
Oh yeah, especially with the coordinate. Like, it's not a huge deal if green bumps in this situation. Because, like, I think it looks like right there, you're setting up to just kind of light up whoever flies right at it.
Exactly.
But if I can, depending on where I'm putting my boosts, I think I do like I do a 2 forward here with the shuttle, and I have the option of just where I get to put it. If I'm doing pre-boosts or post-boosts, it's pretty frustrating.
Yep. And so this is the move I was talking about, where I had barrel rolled blue to be able to stay away from range 1 from green here, because I think Soon Tier's actually taken a shot here and pumps through damage. And if I hadn't, I would have had to expose that card when the concussion missile hit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of that initial first turn setup, I was trying to think of where is Soon Tier going to be getting his first range 2 shot.
Yep.
And how can we spread that out? Actually, in the I think 2 of the games in the cut, I pulled multiple direct hits with concussion missiles, which...
Yep, it's a real thing, and droids die because of them, and I've experienced that. There was an accidental bump actually there from Gray. I'm not sure what I was thinking. I probably would have hard turned instead if I thought about that, just to make sure that I was getting another mod there. But it kept the arc away. There is, though, in 2 turns, some intentional bumps that happen that may look accidental, to be able to keep Seer in place, to do a 1 hard bump to stop a 4K that Soon Tier does later in the game.
I think
I remember that turn.
I think this is the event where we coined the phrase "tactical bump."
Yep. Yeah, it's I would say a lost art, and I learned it from Dallas Parker for sure. The importance of it in watching some of his games, and you don't always do it, but at those key turns that opponents are like, "Oh, you're not moving. Shoot, this move isn't going to be able to fit."
Yeah, and that 4K turn you're talking about, man, I was going between the sloop and the 4K for like 30 minutes, it felt like.
Yeah. Well, and Soontir loves to flank, right? And as soon as he gets behind, like, I'm toast. So I needed, like, my entire game plan going in here was threaten targets, but keep Soontir off my flank because he's such a consistent damage output with that target lock focus with the kit out that you have right here. So I knew I had to be careful with him and just put pressure on him, right? Say, okay, well, if you want to stay here and get your super offensive shot, you're going to be taking shots back to make you take the evade anyway. So that I had a likelihood of having droids live as opposed to getting one shot turn after turn.
Yeah, and something like for people that are playing against droids or these types of lists, specifically, you really got to think about whether you're going to be trying to push through Seer or push through the droids, and build your list around that. For me, getting to Seer, that was not going to happen.
Yep. Well, and to be fair, I was intentionally keeping Seer in the back, right? The way I'm moving, and that's another reason why I do the whole box, is it's easier to keep Seer in the back. I did a boost in the turn before, and I did a barrel roll linked into a focus here on this turn, again, to keep him in the back of the formation so that you aren't able to chip away at him, because he is worth 60 points. It's a lot.
Yep.
Yeah, as far as the exchange of fire here, it went about how I was expecting. I think I end up losing a droid after this round. And to be honest, as a swarm flyer, you just kind of expect to lose a droid in the first opening engagement. But if I can trade that droid for positioning, then I'm golden. Like, I feel good about that exchange. And I feel like that was kind of what I was able to do here to be able to pin down Yellow and or Soontir. And I think the next round I end up blocking Green, Inquisitor, and Soontir. And I think that's my first mistake in this game, is I should have fired everything at Soontir. Everything. Because that was literally the only round this game where I had all guns on him. And I never got a good chance to shoot at him again the rest of the game. So that was my first mistake this game.
Well, that's something that usually happens with Soontir, right? It's like you'll get a chance, but you usually only get one. Just because of the extreme amount of maneuverability it has.
Yeah, and I got the problem. It was a good and a bad thing. I got the Green Inquisitor down to 1 health, and so I got greedy and was like, I can kill him and half point Soontir. And I should have just fired at Soontir first. That was a big mistake.
You just wanted the cake, man. That's all.
Yeah,
I know.
This next turn was this next turn was bad for both of us, because I remember like as soon as I finished everything, my first thought was just like the Ralph Wiggum of just I'm in danger.
That's exactly right. Well, okay, and what just happened with the TA droid is kind of expected and a benefit, right? If I lose a droid in the opening engagement, sweet, I'm completely tokened up right now. And I even have a few bullseyes lined up in this engagement too. I mean, Inquisitors are really good at tanking even bullseye shots because you can overspend fairly easily with the force, focus, and evades. But even so, I mean, okay, good. I'm completely kitted up now for this shot. And if I didn't lose a droid and even had to spend them, well, that's fine. Now I still have 8 bodies. So that's one of the things that makes, I think, the Seer Swarm with TA-175 unique, is that I'm okay losing a body and I'm okay not. Either one I can work with.
So we got some attacks coming in here.
Yeah, and I don't think I actually did much damage this round at the start. And then at the end of this round, it was, oh, okay, Green squeaked by with 1 health.
Everything turns on.
I think we're okay. Yep. And at this point, I mean, you look at where the droid swarm is. I have the opportunity to go straight and say, all right, I'm going to take out Yellow, or turn in onto Soontir, right? I have my options open. And I'm curious, Zach, how you process that when a droid swarm has both options available. Is it you just calculate the best approach as far as what I'm doing? Is it just kind of a roll of the dice? Like, what are you processing in that?
So back in 1.0, I played a game. I played in a tournament in a regional where I just played against swarm after swarm after swarm. Right when Quack, I think it was. I hated playing against crack swarms. I played against like 7 or 8 that day. I ended up playing against one in the final, and the thing is, I did everything differently in the final, and just at that point I just realized, like, no, you just gotta believe. You just shouldn't blink anymore. You just gotta go for it. And sometimes just take the risk, because what's the worst that can happen? You lose.
Yeah. Well, and Soontir and both Inquisitors have the ability to stay alive, especially with that Palp Carrier, more so than most ships do, just because of all the mods that one ship can have. I think this archetype is one that I had practiced against quite a bit, just because of that. And I found that if somebody tried to just send the shuttle in, I usually won because it would die super fast. So as soon as you broke that away, I was like, okay, all right, he knows what he's doing. And I need to kill as many things as I can, because that shuttle can be such a dangerous gun towards the end game when you bring it into flank, which is exactly what you did.
And there are the shields on the first Inquisitor.
There, and that's the thing, right? Like shooting 7 or 8 times, I just need one blank out to get half points on a ship, and that's usually worth more than what I've given up. I mean, I had given up 30 points in the first couple rounds of engagement, which was more than I usually do, to be honest. But even though I'm down in points here, I'm still feeling pretty good about where I'm at, because again, position wise, I'm about to move in, block a lot of lanes, make it very difficult for you to get good flanks on. And I had a feeling that you were going to turn Soontir in with a 2 bank or a 2 straight, and either one, I knew he'd be in trouble. And I should have shot at him. I've watched this game I don't know how many times just to look at my own play, to be honest. And there are key moments where I'm like, oh man, if I had just done that. And in the moment when you're looking at your options, it's so much harder for whatever reason than looking at it afterwards.
Well, you're processing a lot of different information, right? Because you're in that situation, you have the pressure of the actual game. You're processing, everything live. After viewing it after is always easier, because you've already experienced the high stress decision making. Now it's just review, and then you get to be mean to yourself and be like, wow, why did I do that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like even me, like looking at the setup of the ships, I was like, why didn't I just put the Inquisitors like way farther south on the table to like make him come at me and then run with the shuttle? What was I thinking? Like, I shouldn't have been trying to fight this early.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised, but I was like, all right, well, that's good. But even so, you were range controlling really well with those initial concussion shots. And again, caught me off guard. So I didn't have guns on target to be able to shoot back in that first engagement. And then you're about to do another thing here when you move the shuttle and then coordinate the Yellow Inquisitor. And I did not see that coming. I thought you were going to be out of range when moving. And so I figured I'd be blocking Yellow here so that he'd be modless, and he's not, because you coordinated.
Yep. Honestly, like this turn, I felt pretty good about Yellow. I think I have a 1 forward in on the shuttle. It was kind of like, I just kind of knew I was going to get my mods. I just wasn't going to get the best shot.
Right. So I think you did a 1 hard with green there, and I was shocked by that. I was like, well, green's going to bail out with like a 3 straight and just come back around to flank again. And while you think like, oh, what was I thinking? I should have bailed out. Maybe you wanted him there. I don't know. But ironically, because you didn't bail him out, I shot at him instead of everything at Soontir, right? If he's just gone, then there's no decision tree. Then I just shoot at Soontir.
I think part of it also might have just been kind of a accepted loss a little bit.
Sure.
Like, he's got 1 health if he shoots on the way out. And I think because I did some damage to, I'm thinking about Soontir shot. Like, where can I put stuff to do some, do the most good? Well,
and Soontir's 2 bank here that you dial in, that cleared by like a fraction of a millimeter. I was, oh man, I was like, well, good. He'll bump the 2 hard. He'll only get his focus, not the evade. And then it cleared him like, and I think that was part of it too. I knew Soontir was tokened up, and was like, well, I don't know, even if I shoot everything, if I'm going to be able to get him, because he's got focus, calculate, and the palp force. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure you just blank out on attack here too.
Yeah. I remember I remember the conversation we had. It was like, wow, I really feel like I should have killed 2 ships there.
Yes. Here's the intentional bump I was talking about with Seer, where he bumps into the goldenrod droid, for lack of a better word. And
you did a
that
really
was
good job of keeping him put.
that was very intentional to be able to choose. Okay, do I disengage right now, or do I intentionally bump with the gold droid or bronze droid so that I can intentionally bump with Seer, keep him there to keep his arc wide? Yeah, here's the blank out.
There's the,
God,
I mean, I loved it, but
it still hurts to see. When I first rewatched this, I still felt myself just kind of.
Yeah.
the table audio was priceless.
Well, and then I think this is the round 2 where you fired a concussion missile with your Yellow Inquisitor into the Goldenrod one, and we got like all of the disabled power regulators.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
That was great. And you'll see us shake hands here a couple times. He was like, disabled power regulator, another disabled power regulator. Yes, congrats. That was great. But like that speaks to just kind of the, I don't know, lightheartedness of the game. Like this is a super intense game. This is the finals of LVO, and yet we were still having a great time. Yep. So yeah, here's the concussion missile shot, and then so another thing that I was okay with was like, well, he's gonna have to expose a damage card on his Green Inquisitor, potentially having a direct hit and killing a ship. And again, if that happened, I fire everything at Soontir. Can you tell I'm still salty about that?
I mean,
and there it is. There's the first handshake.
Or not disabled power regulator, damage sensor array. Shoot, I misspoke. Sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Yeah, so Soontir blanks out, and then Green, I think, does a damage to that top droid. And then here are my shots back, where I'm like, all right, here we go. And I take a shot at Green. I miss because you got the force there.
Yeah.
And then, like, so imagine that Soontir shot, right? Like, so then you're already having to spend tokens instead of, because I mean, Green, okay, he has 1 health left. Like, I can track him down fairly easily, especially because he doesn't have a double reposition like Soontir does. That's the other thing I didn't think through, is that Soontir's so much more squirrely because of that double reposition, whereas at least the Inquisitors, unless you're coordinating with the shuttle, can't double reposition. So it's easier for me to pin him down. Yeah, and so the thing I learned in this game was, all right, if I have a shot at Soontir, fire everything.
Yeah, that's definitely a good mantra to live by, is if you have enough meaningful shots at Soontir, just try to murder him.
Yep. Well, I even had 2 bullseyes lined up on him, and I think I used one of those on Green, which, was a mistake. But even so, like, after this round, I'm able to clear Green, and I'm up on points, and I'm feeling pretty good about the position. The Yellow Inquisitor's got to be careful. You have a beautiful decision with the Yellow Inquisitor doing a 2 Talon roll. I did not see that coming. And if I had, I would have done an intentional bump with the green droid at the top, just to come in to be able to block that. But yeah, that was, I figured you were gonna try to 4K with yellow and then sloop with Soontir. And so I was like, well, Seer can block both of those in a way, or at least threaten. But yeah, that Talon roll was great.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I'd done the 3 sloop right here, I think. That would have been... Actually, no, I probably would have been right in front of Seer.
Yep.
But, yeah,
so at least you got the focus there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. You would have had a bullseye. It would have been interesting. But yeah, we're already in the next turn. So at this point, I'm trying to threaten the shuttle a little bit to like say, well, are you sure you want to come in? Because I still have quite a few droids left.
Right.
Because I knew you were thinking about it, right? Like the too hard, I think, is what you do with the shuttle, which I think is the right move.
Yeah. Just, because it's like I'm not going to be doing any meaningful actions.
Right.
And I might as well. This is what I'm talking about, having that path. At that point, I can either then go straight to go in between, the first gap, or come to the second gap.
Sure. Yep. Exactly. And then thinking through this too, if I had known you were going to do the Talon roll with yellow, I probably would have done a 4 straight with green, so that I land on that debris cloud and I'm able to start flanking the shuttle a little bit. Instead, I do the 2 straight, and really, like, When in doubt, just keep the droids close and calculate so that they can share tokens. And also to stay inside that seer bubble of 0 to 3. I've seen a couple people fly a seer swarm where all of a sudden seer's like just outside that range. So TA-175 doesn't work along with...
That feels so bad. It feels so bad.
It does. It feels really bad. So, I mean, that's another thing to think about if you're flying against droids is if they are playing them correctly, they're going to at least be tethered to seer somewhat. Yeah, I
range
love
3
that
is
move.
still pretty big.
It is. It's really big.
Yeah.
But it can be, if you're not paying attention with where seer's going to end up, yeah, that can still get you into trouble. But yeah, that move, dude, oh, that was so good. Loved it.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've noticed when I've been playing these Inquisitors is I am a lot more willing to do red maneuvers, just because of that force. You know, it just feels.
Well, and even if you can
risk.
coordinate something to them before they do that with the shuttle, that opens up their dial a lot more. For sure.
And you also have the Palpatine force, so essentially they're double. They're almost Grand Inquisitors, almost.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's very true.